Hey, this is Danny from Scare Talk. Before we get into all the horror greatness, I gotta let you know about Anchor. Anchor is the host site that we use to record our podcast. Anchor will upload your podcast to Apple and Spotify and many other listening platforms. Anchor is completely free, and you can download the app or go to the website, anchor.fm, and you can record straight on there. There's also some cool editing tools that you can use. Did I mention that it's free? Yeah, so if you want to make a podcast, Anchor is the way to go. Go check it out. Now, for the spooky stuff.
Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
Alright, this is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and Joel is absent today due to quarantine. So I'm here with Katrina.
Hello.
Today we are going to talk about the 2008 film Quarantine. Very fitting for our quarantine we're going through right now. So Katrina, who's a part of this one?
So, in this movie, the main woman in the movie is Jennifer Carpenter, which you may know her from Dexter. She was Dexter's sister. The Exorcism of Emily Rose. She was Emily Rose.
Yes, good movie.
And White Chicks.
Is she a white chick?
She is in this movie. So, then we've got Jay Hernandez, who is the firefighter who Jennifer is following around.
Yeah.
He has also been in Hostel, Suicide Squad, and Magnum P.I. Steve Harris is the one who is actually filming this movie.
Oh, yeah, he's the cameraman.
He's the camera guy.
So he's the cameraman of the movie.
He's the cameraman of the movie, yes. So, not to be confused with the director, who we'll discuss later.
Yeah.
So, Steve Harris has been in Diary of a Mad Black Woman, First Purge, and Minority Report.
Oh, Minority Report. Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
And then we've got Greg German, very familiar guy from Grey's Anatomy, and Ally McBeal. And then he also has been in Child's Play 2.
Yeah.
Then, so we'll go into the director and writers. The director is John Eric Dowdle, who also directed Devil. And the writers, he also wrote this movie along with his brother Drew Dowdle and a few other writers.
Okay, cool. All right, so this one is about a firefighting team followed around by a reporter and a cameraman for the night. They get a call to an apartment building. They go in. There's some mad, crazy woman who attacks them. And soon after that, they learn that they are being quarantined inside the building. There's military outside that are threatening to kill them if they exit the building. The building is locked down. So they're trying to figure out why. And turns out there's some sort of virus, disease, something that we find out is related to rabies, seemingly.
This is a spoiler description.
Yeah, this movie came out 12 years ago. So.
Okay, so it's okay to be spoiling right off the bat.
And yeah, we find out it's like rabies, and so a bunch of the people in the building are now, susceptible, and then if they get bit, then they turn, we'll say. It's kind of like a zombie movie a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. So that's the main story.
That's the full story.
Well, yeah.
That's like the new age trailers, how trailers are
Yeah.
these days.
Yeah. So that's what it's about. And so before we go, into detail, I want to talk about the this style of movie, the found footage type. Horror kind of adopted that style for a little while around this time. There was, Blair Witch Project was probably the first one.
Okay.
Which
that was early 2000s?
It was late 90s.
Late 90s.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a long time ago. I feel like it was not that long ago.
No, yeah, it was late 90s.
I mean, I guess early 2000s is 20 years ago now. But.
Yeah. Then there was Cloverfield, which that one I remember seeing and really liking, but that's also a found footage type movie.
I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I've seen it with you, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there was Paranormal Activity and all those movies. There was The Last Exorcism. There was VHS. And then there's this one, and I'm sure I'm missing some, but there's more. Hell House LLC.
Oh, yeah.
That one, a little more recent.
Yeah.
I don't think that one came out too many years ago.
I feel as if that's super recent, but probably just because you
we
just
watched
introduced it to me.
So yeah, this kind of filmmaking has become popular, and it's been popular for a little while now. So what do you think of that?
I enjoy it at some points. It has to be done right. It really, really is significant that it has to be done right. One, it has to make sense why they're filming everything.
Yes.
This movie was good with, it was a reporter.
Yeah.
And he's filming.
Yeah.
And she states, once they get in, I don't want you to stop filming. So she pretty much sets it up. We're going to have this all on film.
Right.
Except when she tells him to turn it off.
Yeah. That's a very, very placed part when she says that.
Yeah. Almost too placed.
Yeah. It was like, okay, we get it. You're going to keep filming.
Yeah. But there have been some, we've been watching Paranormal, and some of those ones are not done very well, where it's like, wait, why are they filming?
Yeah.
Who films their entire life?
Yeah.
And the other part that is hard for me with it is when the camera starts blacking out. I know that's part of an effect of it.
Right.
But it gets really frustrating for me because it feels like, just fix your camera.
Well, what do you mean blacking out? Like, are you talking about in this movie?
So, in this movie, but then as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember. Well, I guess not just blacking out, but when it's moving around a bunch and stuff, it's like, oh my gosh, guys, get in control of this camera because I'm supposed to be watching this movie right now.
Right. Yeah.
But that's part of the realism of the movies. So I value it for what it's for.
Yeah.
But it's frustrating for me sometimes. Sometimes I'm just like, okay, I'm done with this.
Yeah. Some people, I want to say it was with Paranormal Activity. I think probably Cloverfield too. But some people were getting nauseous watching and throwing up in the theater.
Oh, probably definitely
leave.
Cloverfield, because that's what made me think about it.
Yeah.
Was when he's running and stuff, and it's like, oh my gosh, just put the camera down. I'm done watching this.
Yeah, imagine seeing it in theater. It's pretty intense.
Well, even this movie, I started feeling like I'm getting dizzy.
Yeah.
And then they're showing these news stories.
Yeah.
And
it's
the
really
camera's moving around. And I'm like, I can't even read what it says. Just hold the camera still.
Yeah.
But of course he's not going to. He's freaking out and breathing hard.
Yeah.
So it's the realism of it is the value, but
yeah, because it's supposed to be they're not trying to make a movie. It's just they're trying to document what's happening. Yeah. And so it's not like he's going to hold the camera still for, a good shot. or something, you know, for an audience.
At the same time, it's like, dude, you're running for your life. Like, drop the camera, give it up.
Right.
But then the movie would be over. So.
Yeah. There wouldn't be anything to watch.
Yeah. The other one that is like this is that one where the guy, I think he hires someone to come and film.
Creep? You're talking
Is
about
that what
Creep
it is?
and Creep 2? Yeah.
At the end with the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I forgot about those. Yeah.
Those were done well.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Very good.
And I liked Blair Witch.
Yeah. I don't really remember that one. I have to watch that again. Because I remember seeing it when it came out on probably VHS at that time and thinking it was boring. And I think I fell asleep. So I have to watch that again.
I think I saw that one in theater. Yeah. I think I saw it in theater and I liked the characters. A lot of people I feel like didn't like the characters, but I thought they were so like they were so silly and like I felt like they were, you know, kind of like I was a teenager when I saw it, and so they were like us dumb teenagers, you know. And one of the characters I remember reminded me a lot of my brother. So I found him very believable.
You knew someone like him.
Yeah.
And when that one came out, it was supposed to be real. Like that was the whole marketing for that one. It was literally found footage. It wasn't a movie, you know? So that was cool. I mean, now you know, couldn't trick anybody with that, but that's what they were trying to do when that one first
Is that
came
what
out.
they try to do with Paranormal too?
Yeah. I mean, the way that it has, like, you know, thanks to the San Diego Police Department.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Things like that. But I don't think it was ever marketed as a real thing. I think the movie just tried to make it look like it was based on real events, but I don't think it was marketed that way.
Okay.
Blair Witch was marketed as this was a documentary that was being filmed by these teenagers, and this is what happened. You know, it's supposed to be real. Okay. So with these movies, I don't mind the shaky camera work so much, but I do see how it can be frustrating. I feel like the acting is usually good in these movies. And I don't know if it's... In this one, I would say some of the acting I didn't care for. But for most of these movies, like Cloverfield, VHS, Creep, Hell House, like a lot of those, I feel like I can't pick out any character where I didn't like the acting. And I think it may be because there's no like real intense like dialogue, there's no like close-ups, there's no real big acting that they have to do in these movies. Maybe it looks like they're acting good because it looks like a home video too, so it looks real, so that I'm, you know, just feeling like they're real people, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I feel like the acting's always pretty good.
You've said that, I think you said that even about Paranormal. I feel the opposite.
Really?
I'm always like, really? Do you really talk like that to the camera? Are you like? It seems like they're not being genuine and real to me.
Well,
it's funny how it comes across different for different people.
Yeah, and like I said, it may be because just the way the movie's done, it just feels like it's real, and so maybe that's why I think the acting's good. And plus, there's like, I mean, in this one, we have, you know, Dexter's sister. But in a lot of other movies like this, there's just no-name people. You know, I don't see these people in anything else.
Yeah.
So, in that, too, I'm like, okay, it seems like it's just your everyday person making these movies. You know, and I think that's kind of what intrigues me. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a good period of time where horror really got into this style, and I feel like it's good for horror, or easy for horror, because it's easy to make. It's low budget. Horror has never been a big blockbuster type of genre where it's going to make a bunch of money, so this helps that because it doesn't cost a lot of money to make it. So it really took off, and people really liked it, but I think these days people are kind of over it. So back in like the mid 2000s is when it really took off.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you like about this? What are some positives for quarantine?
For quarantine, yeah. I'm having a hard time coming up with too many positives. But not that it wasn't a good movie. Okay. Usually my first positive is the acting, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't find the acting to be that great. I like Dexter's sister, but she was not as likable at some points. She seemed like she was trying too hard at the beginning. Mm-hmm. She and the whole interactions with the firemen, it was confusing to me. Oh, I know. Sorry. Okay. So anyway,
so not the acting.
But at the same time, I did think that there was good character development.
Yeah.
So it was good that we had that beginning scene with getting to know the firemen, really, because then we got to feel for them when they actually did, when stuff happened to them.
Yeah. And it was good character development quickly.
Yeah.
It didn't take long for characters to become characters. You know?
Yeah. And they did a good job at putting in little relationships in there without it being too obvious or too like in your face.
Yeah.
So that was nice. I thought that the filming for this, it was creative, and I liked how it had a purpose for why they were filming it. I thought that he did pretty good up until the end. With not him, but like
whoever was holding the camera.
I liked the angles and all that kind of stuff. It kept me like trying to look like, wait, I can't see, you know, and that's kind of gets you into it. Mm-hmm. So I like that, and I'll leave it there.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't feel like it had any kind of twist or anything, so
yeah.
It was just kind of straightforward.
So for me, I liked the filming. Like you said, there were quite a few scenes where the infected people would like just show up, and the way that it caught them like running super fast, and sometimes there were like close-ups with their face, which I thought was kind of cool, especially when he's killing one of them with the camera.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, just I don't know, zombie movies aren't that great usually, but I feel like this one was pretty much a zombie movie. Most of them are about people getting viruses or some disease or whatever, and then needing to live by eating others.
Yeah, seems as if. Yeah.
So this is,
and then they get like superpowers.
Yeah,
like
yeah. Well, you either get like the really slow, just boring zombies, which is more like a classic type of like black and white movie.
Yeah, like
you know, yeah. Or you get the like extreme, super fast, super strong zombies. So
yeah, and like can't die.
yeah.
Like get shot and then all of a sudden you're up again later.
Yeah. So these were definitely the super fast, super strong ones, and so I liked that. I like that it wasn't just your slow zombies, and it had a good build to it. It wasn't like all of a sudden there was a bunch of them. It kind of slowly progressed to where at the end it's like everybody is infected, and no matter where you turn, no matter what door you open, there's somebody there. And it was all the characters that you got to know throughout the movie and how they turned. And
then
you're like, oh man, that guy, no, her too. And,
yeah.
So I like that.
It made me feel like Resident Evil.
Yeah.
When you play the game.
Yeah.
And I'm watching.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, careful, don't go in there.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, as far as zombie movies or virus disease movies, this is one of my favorites.
Okay.
Let's see. I like the end. I liked when they kind of they give you a little bit of piece of how this started. I liked that, with the whole, like, I don't know, rat room. I don't know what was happening there, but it was obviously
Like
created.
it was like a boiling room.
There was like cages with rats in them,
Yeah.
And so it shows how this was started. Like somebody created this in this building. So I thought that was kind of cool way to end it. This is actually, I should have said this at the beginning. This is actually an American version of I think a French movie called Rec, like REC period, like record.
Okay.
And there's quite a few of those, but this is the American version of the first one.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Any negatives?
So I wasn't a huge fan of the acting, is what I was saying before. I just felt like it was... Well, I mean, I felt like the acting at the beginning was kind of... Like, it made me wonder, is this like her first time ever being on camera?
Yeah. For some reason, because I've seen this movie a number of times before, and then watching it this time, I was thinking, oh yeah, she's like, this is her first day. That's what I was thinking. And maybe I just thought that because of how she was acting. But I feel like it was said at some point. But I didn't notice it watching it this time.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess if that's the case, then it makes sense why her acting... Because her acting definitely got better as it went. But...
Well, it looked like she was an actor acting. Because I mean, obviously she's an actress, but she was also being a reporter, so she was acting as a reporter.
Yeah, but she didn't seem comfortable in the position.
No. Yeah, she was awkward.
Yeah, and then her interactions with the firemen, it was like, do you know these guys? Like,
she's getting a little friendly.
Well, and she seemed like she already had like a relationship with the one guy.
Yeah,
with Jay Hernandez. It was like when he was trying to put his mic on and he's like talking to her like, are they gonna be filming me this whole time? Like do you guys know each other? Are you guys friends or something? So maybe she got hooked up with this gig because she knows him. Yeah, I don't know. But then he was acting like he didn't know her, so I don't know, it was a little confusing at the beginning, and I guess that just like turned me off right there to the acting and everything.
Well, I don't know if that's the acting or if that's just bad writing.
Maybe it's the writing. Sorry, John and Drew.
Or directing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it could have been, Scotty's directing.
Yeah.
So anyway, then I did not like the ending.
Oh. You didn't like how it kind of gave a little bit of what started it?
No. I mean, who cares? We figured it out. They have rabies, some type of man-made rabies. I feel like we already kind of figured that out. It wasn't a regular type of rabies.
You didn't think that made it like
Greg
creepier?
already
To be in the room where it all
started?
it
made it obnoxious to me. That's when it got to a point where it's like, okay, you guys are just making dumb moves.
Well, yeah.
Like, just get out.
Yeah.
If they would have just left and left it alone, one, you're not even making it to where we can even read what this is. So now I'm just frustrated because I didn't get to read the articles because you just showed them while you're shaking and then you ran away from it. And
there's like test tubes and beakers and all this
and it's
stuff.
like, okay, maybe do a quick little, oh wow, this was man-made. Yeah. Okay, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
But they spent a huge chunk of the end of the movie in that.
Yeah.
And that was obnoxious to me.
Yeah. And they were going through like this paperwork and these files while they're in this, dire situation, and it's like, why are you going to stop and try and look at all this stuff, but you're not even stopping to even read it.
Yeah.
Just like, leafing
Like,
through all
just-
these papers and...
Like, it's for the camera, like
Yeah.
you're still doing a news report, but it's
Yeah.
like, dude, you don't even know if you're getting out alive.
Yeah.
Obviously. And you're still concerned about getting the story?
Yeah, and they
Like-
didn't even do a good job of getting it because no one could tell what it was. You couldn't
Yeah.
even read it.
Yeah. And
All that
and
you
they
saw
didn't even,
was,
if they
it
wanted,
was
they
made.
could have like taken it with them.
Yeah.
And then read it somewhere else.
yeah.
But yeah, so that was obnoxious for me.
Okay.
I didn't like that. I mean, I didn't. Okay, so then he goes up in this attic of the attic,
Mm-hmm.
and then like all of a sudden this like jump scare of this baby,
Yeah.
and it's like, what the heck? A baby is up there.
Yeah,
And
that
then-
didn't even go anywhere.
And that, yeah, and then what ends up being is this like naked old lady thing that it's like, why did you have the baby up there?
Yeah.
And then that baby was magically able to like make your camera not work anymore. Now the light completely
Yeah,
doesn't work.
now the light doesn't
You've
work.
been able to do so much with this camera.
Yeah.
And now because the baby hit it.
It's a super baby.
Yeah. And so that was obnoxious to me. And then the way she ends up dying is just getting drug
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Like, it almost was like it was a ghost or something that drug her out. And so it's like, okay, now you changed your whole concept.
Yeah,
Like, at least have someone come in and eat her or something. But
Yeah,
Like-
I did. I'd never noticed it because I've seen this movie many times. I never noticed that you couldn't really see anybody pulling her.
yeah.
You could see her whole body go back like 10 feet, but it's just darkness behind her. You don't see anybody pull her.
Yeah, it was like Blair or paranormal
When they get pulled all over.
Yeah. And it's like, it makes sense in that.
Yeah.
But it's like, why? Just have
sliding
someone jump
across
on
the ground.
top of her and start eating her or
Yeah.
something. If you're going to kill her in front of us or something.
Yeah.
It's like, we've been watching everyone else get eaten and bitten and everything. And then you're going to just pull her away like a ghost is there or something?
Maybe it's part of
So-
her contract. She didn't want to get eaten in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. She
No
eat
blood
me off
on me.
stage. So that was those were a couple of my negatives. And I didn't like the dumb choices they were making. Like right
so
from the beginning.
her getting pulled away, I remember that being pretty significant when it first came out. I remember that being, I mean, Paranormal had did it too, but not in that way. It wasn't like she was right there her face was right there and then getting pulled away. With Paranormal, it's more like they get pulled off the bed and it's like from a distance, You can see them. I remember this being kind of new. Now, these days, no, it's not new. But back then, 12 years ago, it was what this movie is known for. If you look at the cover, it's her laying there, her face with the night vision, right before she gets pulled away. I mean, I'm sure there's multiple covers, but that was the movie poster from what I remember. So
Yeah.
it was pretty,
yeah.
a pretty significant part of the movie.
And to me, yeah, that's like one of my biggest negatives. Like I didn't like the end at all.
Yeah.
That's where the movie ruined it for
Yeah.
me. I liked the movie all up until they got to that attic. And yeah, I liked the zombie people jumping out. The other negative to me though is there were some people that didn't look zombied out enough.
Yeah, compared
That-
to other ones.
Yeah, that were attacking people, but it was like, you don't even look like it's affected you yet.
Yeah.
So you need to be foaming more and pale and
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And it didn't make sense. Well, I mean, I guess you explained it to me about the little girl. Mm-hmm. But it just like really right when you figured out now she's
Yeah.
going to show symptoms, that was like, oh, come on.
And then like her eyes get all crazy. Like it was just
yeah, it was just instant.
instant turn,
Yeah, where the other lady didn't start eating people until
yeah.
way after she'd been foaming for
Yeah.
a long time
Yeah.
and growling around and stuff. And this little girl is just normal, all up until they say, oh, it was your dog?
Yeah.
And then they want to test her
She
and
just
then
has bronchitis. Yeah.
like,
Well, it's like the coronavirus. It has different it affects people differently.
And children. It doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't show in children until the very end, and they start attacking. And infecting everyone.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's why schools are closed.
That's why we're all shut down. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so negatives for me. Oh wait, so you said there was a lot of dumb choices throughout the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, at the very
Besides
beginning,
the
they decide
end.
to take the infected chick down into the atrium with everyone else.
Well, they don't know that.
Oh, come on. She's foaming at the mouth. They had already mentioned she's foaming at the mouth, like in the with the old lady. They had already mentioned these symptoms with the old lady.
Right.
You're seeing the same exact things in this person.
Right.
And then you're going to take her downstairs?
Yeah, I didn't get why they all had to group together.
Yeah.
And the drunk guy even said it. Like he was smart to me. Like, I'd want to get in my apartment and shut the door and lock everybody out. Like, this seems like it's pretty contagious.
Yeah. Yeah. We're supposed to be quarantined, but in a group of bigger than 10? Come on. You guys need to learn the rules of quarantine.
Yeah, so I didn't get that. And maybe it's like, because it was the cop who was really trying to enforce that. And, it's probably just like he was scared, I don't know who to trust.
He definitely couldn't handle his emotions.
Yeah.
He was losing his mind the entire time.
Yeah. So he wanted to make sure he had everybody there in front of him so he didn't get surprised by anything, So maybe that was the, not that that's logic, but...
Yeah, but he didn't worry about where Max was.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like there were multiple dumb decisions. I mean, once they saw people were foaming and stuff, I feel like, okay, you need to know that these people need to be away from the rest of the other people.
Yeah. Yeah, they had, like, the second lady who ended up getting infected. They had her just sitting around everybody. She was just sitting there, foaming out the mouth. Yeah. And just, hanging out.
Yeah, chilling with them.
Yeah, so
it was a cool kill when she got killed with the camera, though.
The camera, yeah, that was a good part. I thought the part where the firefighter just falls from the top of the building and hits the lobby ground, that was pretty surprising and pretty cool. And toward the end, when he knocks over the African girl and she goes tumbling over and hits the ground.
Yeah, that's another positive, is they did have some really cool and creative kills.
Yeah.
In this.
And fast. Like, it seemed like it was in real time, It didn't seem like a movie. It seemed like that was like, whoa, that was real. So. Yeah,
and he has to, get the other one with the mallet. I also appreciated that they didn't show the little girl getting completely taken down. I don't know how she ended up dying, but they didn't show it, and I think that was classy.
Yeah, whenever there's a kid involved, it's like, oh, are they gonna do it?
Yeah.
Is this gonna happen right now?
Yeah.
And even if they're evil and everything, it's still like, oh man, it's a kid.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Don't kill a kid.
I don't know if you can do that on screen.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like some of my negatives are turning into positives.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay, your turn.
So, negatives. The acting of, what's her name?
Jennifer Carpenter.
Yeah, her. She bugged me toward the end. When it's in the dark room where she can't see anything and she's shaking and trying to grab onto things, which I get it. They're trying to show that it's dark. For us, it's not because of the night vision, but for her, she's blind.
Yeah,
and
it was ridiculously dark for her.
And so it was just her acting. It just looked funny. It looked silly how she was trying to reach for things and while she's shaking and hyperventilating, and she was doing a lot of hyperventilating throughout the movie.
I think she did good with I liked her breathing like, it was like, okay, she's really trying to calm herself down. She's really trying to, like, I felt like that was real.
Yeah.
Like, or it made it feel real.
Yeah. I would say for most of the movie, but that part, it was just mixed in with the shaking and the reaching. And
Well, the whole end of the movie was bad, so.
So, and then when, you can see the person in the background walking around, but the camera's on her face. And you, like, can't see what's happening behind her. And then she's just obnoxious to look at that point. I'm like, move your head.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's like, why aren't you trying to see what this is?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get why that part was there.
Yeah.
Why they made that choice to have her blocking the whole view.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's a negative. Really, other than that, I don't have big negatives for this one. I think it was a good paced movie. I think it had good, it was scary, I thought, at times. So yeah, I mean, not too many negatives for me.
Yeah. We didn't talk about what we expected of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Going into it. I
don't remember.
Yeah, I guess because you saw it so long ago. This is my first time.
Yeah, did you know anything about it?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. So I knew it was called Quarantine.
Yeah.
And so I assumed they were going to eventually get quarantined.
Yeah.
But I didn't know anything further than that.
Right.
I did not know it was a zombie movie. Like, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that you didn't explain that to me or tell me that because you probably knew I wouldn't have wanted to see it if I knew that. So I think that just, like, was surprising to me. I was not expecting.
Well, if it's a horror movie, I mean, what...
I thought if they were getting
quarantined,
then someone was going to end up someone was going to end up attacking the people who were quarantined and they couldn't get out because they were quarantined.
Oh, okay, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll write that one for you.
Like a slasher.
Yeah. And I guess it's still in my head anytime I think of a horror movie, I'm thinking slasher because my husband has kind of gotten that in my head. So that was just something that, like, was interesting because it kind of really did, like, maybe change how I felt about the movie and made it harder for me to be like, oh, cool, this is a good movie. Like, yeah. I just kept thinking, like, really, he's making me watch a zombie movie? And I mean, it was cool that they made it into, like, rabies.
Yeah. Yeah. They gave it a name that we can kind of identify.
Yeah. I mean, I could tell it was rabies.
Yeah.
I saw it as rabies.
Yeah.
When they first walked in there.
Yeah.
But then as they start eating their flesh and everything and then still being alive after, and it's like, okay, rabies doesn't make you superhuman, you know? So then I was like, okay, so we're watching a zombie movie. Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's an advanced form of rabies.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, man-made.
Yep. There you go.
Good thing we had that end of the movie to figure that out.
See? Yeah, a little bit.
No, we didn't need the end of the movie to figure that out. The vet already figured it out, that this was a rabies, that he's never seen something like this before, and he already explained it all enough to us. So we didn't need that whole end of the movie. They could have figured out a way to get out, and then once they were out, then people are after them because they're infected possibly, and
now it's an action
this big
movie.
Run and everything, and then they turn into Speed or something. Like, well, I thought they were gonna try to still, like, jump out of the window and guard themselves with, like, the bodies that were already killed. Or I don't know. Wow. That's what I was expecting when they first said, "I know how we can get out," and then they looked at the guy who was on the ground, looked at the window, and I'm like, "Oh man, are they gonna use him to guard themselves?"
Man, it turned into like a James Bond movie.
Yeah. That's what I was waiting for. So,
wow. Okay.
Instead, we went in the dark basement and the light kept turning off. And
Yeah. Okay, so have you thought of a grade for this?
oh gosh, I forgot about grades. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna give it a 77.
Oh, okay.
7's the number right now.
Yeah, so that's a B plus?
No, that's a C.
Or, sorry, C plus.
C plus. Yeah, a C plus.
Okay.
If it weren't a zombie movie, it would probably be a B.
Okay.
But I just
can't give a zombie movies anything other than a
you can't give a
C
zombie
plus
movies more
is like
than
the
a
highest
C.
you can go.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Yeah.
So I'll give it a 80.
Okay.
B minus.
Okay.
I've seen it a good amount of times, and it's for me. It's kind of one of those movies you can watch maybe once every 5 years or so.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind watching it every so often.
Okay.
Especially with people who haven't seen it. So
Okay. I'll make sure to check out.
And it was obviously fitting. So
Very fitting.
yeah. So
Yeah.
for the quarantine we are in now.
Yeah. So we talked about how the challenge with this illness that's going around now is the lack of ability to see symptoms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, man, imagine if the symptoms turned.
Yeah, I mean, they say viruses mutate and, change over time
Yeah.
in order
yeah.
to survive, so.
And who knows if there's like some evil doctor over there, like
Oh, man.
getting some of the the stuff that is creating this and has some test tubes back there.
Right, in the
And
attic.
some rats.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Never know what. Maybe we'll just be living it in 5 years from now.
Oh, gosh. So, do you want to do more of these types of movies?
Oh yeah, I like
Yeah?
these kinds of movies.
Okay.
I've super enjoyed watching Paranormal. I think that we should probably do a podcast on them.
Okay.
Although, well, I'll save it. But I've definitely had fun going through those little series. I super loved Creep.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I liked Blair Witch. We should watch that.
Yeah, we'll do that next, I think.
Yeah. And then Cloverfield.
I love that movie, but I don't think we need to do a review. Everybody's seen that one.
No. And yeah, I did not love that movie. I thought there was way too much running and chaos going on.
Well, it's like a huge monster taking over New York. It's chaos.
I know. And it's like, it's like drop the camera. Give it up. It's one of those things where I've said it in other movies. There's a point where you just give up. Like, what are you running for anymore at this point? So,
Well, if we ever found ourselves in a situation like this, I'm not going to let you just give up.
okay.
Okay.
I'll jump on your back. You can carry me along, but
Oh, man.
I'm not gonna be.
You're not going to try that hard?
Well, and it's like I don't remember. I'm not speaking of any specific movies,
Yeah.
but I know that there's like some where it's like, dude, my whole family just died. Everybody I love just died.
Yeah.
Like, what am I running for anymore?
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah,
and
you got to lose the will to live at some point.
yeah, well, and like with Texas or
Texas Chainsaw?
yeah, or with Jason,
Yeah.
it's like, you're not getting away, dude. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're running in the woods in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And there's this guy with a chainsaw behind you. And you keep tripping
Yeah.
all over the place over nothing. Like,
Or
you're
a
not getting
machete.
away.
Yeah.
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 So it's like, just give in.
stop. Yeah.
Just give in. Ask him to, like, do it, like,
Quickly.
like, just cut my head off or something so I don't have to feel it. Like,
Oh man, that would be funny to see in a movie.
Can you just do it the painless way you can?
Yeah.
Then they'd be mad at you. So then they'd take their
they'd,
time.
like tell you to run.
Yeah. No, this is no fun. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, this has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let the coronavirus bite. Oh.